Hey guys, Epic Gadgets here, and today I'm gonna bring you Call of Duty Black Ops 2 multiplayer battle. So in this match, I played with my friends from school and my friend's friend. And one of my friend's friend, his name is Taco Shop 14. He has a YouTube channel called Mr. X Dominoes, and he uploads like airplanes, aircraft videos. Yeah. And if you guys are interested in those kind of stuff, then please check out his channel at Mr. X Dominoes. So, I recently took my finals at school this past week, and I just want to share a little story with you guys about it. And here we go. So, my first final that I took was my history final. And before class started, my friend and I, we were walking towards our history class, right? My friend, he's not interested in history. History is like his not favorite subject or his strongest. So he was really nervous about failing it, right? So when we walked into class, we sat down, and then the teacher said to the whole class that we can have a 15-minute study session before the test, before we take the test. So me and my friends, we started quizzing each other on all sorts of things, like about world history and stuff like that. And then, 15 minutes after that, we took the test, right? So, during the test, my friend, he was like really nervous. I could see he was like sweating. So he was afraid of failing the final, right? And then the first person to finish was not him, but the first person to finish, he put the test on top of the teacher's desk, right? And right there, like every time a person put, like when I'm taking a test, right? Like every time if someone finished before me, I start to get nervous. Like that guy, he put the test on the teacher's desk, right? Because he's finished. After that, I started to sweat. And then I look at the time. There's still a lot of time, but and then people start like standing up. They started finishing the test, put it on the teacher's desk. So I really got nervous, and then I started and I got sweaty, right? I was sweating so bad. And then like about 20 minutes before class ended, the next person who finished the test was my friend, and he was afraid to fail the test. So when he got up and put a test on the teacher's desk, I got really nervous because I hate to be the last one finishing the test, because everybody will be like looking at you when you're like standing up and going to the teacher's desk and putting the test. Yeah. So like 5 minutes later, I finished 5 minutes before class ended, right? And then I put the test on top of the teacher's desk. And when I looked back, I look at all this, like all my classmates. No, everybody was finished except me. I was like so embarrassed, like standing in front of the class, putting the test on top of the teacher's desk, and like everyone was staring at me because they all wanted to talk, right? And the last person who finished this test will get the most attention, because yeah, you know, like they want to talk, but the last person's like preventing them. So when I sat down after I put the test on like the teacher's desk, and then I sat down, my teacher said we could talk quietly, and after that I knew that I was the last one right there. Yeah, and that's my history final story. My next final that I took was my geometry final, and I aced my geometry final, and I got 100% on it. And my history, I don't know how, but I got a 64 out of 45. I don't know how. There was no extra credit. I got a 64 out of a 45 on my history test. So back to my story about my geometry. I aced it 100%, 47 out of 47. So that test, the geometry test, but like the day before the final, my geometry teacher, he gave us a packet, like a test review packet, and all of those questions on the test review packet was like identical to the test. So all of those questions, they were similar, but he just changed the letters and the numbers. If the problem has numbers, he'll change it. So I did it. I did really well on it, and I started to sweat again after the first person finished it. Like the first person, they started like, yeah, the first person finished it. He put a test on top of the teacher's desk again, and I got nervous again. And then yeah, you know, and then later, like I finished like 10 minutes before class, but before that, people started talking, and I started to like get more nervous because they're finished and stuff like that. Yeah, you know that. And then I started to get more nervous, and then I started to rush through like my final four questions. So, and then after that, I looked at the clock. There's like 10 minutes left. So I just checked. I checked like really fast. I just kept like just looking through the packet, the test booklet, stuff like that. Check to see if it got marked it right and stuff like that. And then after that, I put the test on top of the teacher's desk. And this time I looked back, and no, I wasn't the last one to finish this time, and I was like, thank God I'm not the last person. So there were like 2 or 3 people still doing the test. So I was like, whew. Okay. And that's my geometry final story. And my next final story is my English. So as I was walking towards my English class in the morning, I was in PE, right? And then the bell rang. I thought it was like the first bell, like the changing bell for our, like, yeah, changing our clothes, but it wasn't. So I was like taking my time changing. I went out and I was like, I saw students walking in. I was like, what the hell? I was like, why are people walking in? It was like the first bell, and I realized that was the second bell. So I was like changing. So I just ran to my English class. I didn't run, but I just walked there. And then when I walked there, my teacher wasn't there yet. So I was like, thank God I'm not late, because all the students were waiting outside. So I just went there, hang out with my friends there. And then the teacher, I think it was like the senior English teacher, he came and he just unlocked the door, because his class is right next to my English class, and they shared a door inside the classroom. So he just opened it for us, and then we walked in and sat down. And then like about 5 minutes later, my English teacher came, and then she passed out the test, right? And then she said like everything that you need to do and stuff like that, like all those instructions. So as I took the test, the English test to me was the hardest one of all. It was like so hard, and this time I got nervous again. You know, I always get nervous. Like this time, I finished 10 minutes. Also 10 minutes before class ended. But this time, my nervousness, I don't know if that's a word or not, but it was like a little bit scarier this time. Right? Like as people were finishing and putting the test on top of the desk again, my heart was like, I was like getting a heart attack or something. My heart was like, I feel pain in my heart, like something is not right, something like that, you know? So as we come to a close here, I will tell my English story in my next video. So please, yeah. So please like, rate, comment, and subscribe for more Black Ops 2 multiplayer gameplays. And I will also upload the Super Bowl preview next week. So please check that out next week. And that's it. Peace. I'm out.